Hi everyone, this is Dr. Tran here from Color Chiropractic in Bellingham, Washington. It's a nice sunny day here in July 2025, and the thing is that if you're like me, you're probably around this time you're doing different types of home projects, home improvement, gardening, and we've seen lots of these different patients in our practice. And over time, we've really helped to instill certain types of principles of movement that I actually picked up from the martial arts. You see, there's this teacher that I learned from named Mr. Skip Hancock, who actually wrote this book. It's called The Path to Excellence, The Case for the Universal Martial Arts System. And it's fascinating the way that this book is, because it's not so much it's very much about martial arts, but you can actually apply this to anything. When it comes to moving, we want to be able to heal our bodies instead of hurting them. And when Mr. Skip Hancock really brought about that principle to me, I was very intrigued by the idea of how you could use things that you learn from the martial arts in order to prevent chronic injuries. So last year, I actually started to make certain types of videos that really help to achieve that. There's ones on posture, there's another one on balance, and this one in particular, we're going to be focusing on relaxation. We're going to be running over lots of different principles, and what I would suggest is that you don't overload yourself with a lot of the different things I say here. Don't try to implement everything at once. Try to use one lesson at a time. Start applying it to your work, whatever that you're doing, whether it's gardening, whether it's a home project, and really see how it can make a difference. Build that awareness on where you are doing that and where you're holding yourself back, okay? And the whole thing is that if you review things like the posture and the balance video, or you start to incorporate those, you can see that there's actually a synergistic effect when it comes to relaxation. So let's go ahead and get started. So when it comes to relaxation, the thing that we have to understand is, what does that actually mean? Well, I really love how Mr. Skip Hancock really defines it. He talks about it in self-defense as relaxing the mind, body, and breath of unnecessary tension. You see, there are times when we need to be in tension, otherwise we wouldn't get our work done. But if we learn how to relax appropriately and learn how to tense at the proper times, then we can be able to do amazing things. It's always good to really start off with things like the mind. When we're talking about relaxing the mind, there are certain things that you can be able to pay attention to when you're trying to relax. Let's say that you're setting up for, I did a couple of different projects here. I did the gutters up here on my roof. I had this fencing project here with like some fence posts. And the thing is that if you want to relax your mind, one of the things is you want to be able to know the circumstance that you're getting yourself into. The best way to do that is, let's say that if I were going up into the gutters, I should actually prepare ahead of time. I want to have the proper work boots. I want to have the gloves. I want to have all these things that I have in this bucket in relation to what is actually needed to be able to clean the gutters properly. When I had all these different things here, it was a lot more relaxing to be able to go up there and know that I didn't have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The thing is that if you just keep it all in the same receptacle, that can be a huge advantage for you. Same thing goes over here where I have the fence posts. It's good to have all your equipment all in the same area, so you're not tripping over anything, and automatically your mind already starts to be in a more relaxed state. Okay, so having all the equipment there, you can also pay attention to certain things within your own body. One thing that we recognize in the martial arts world is the idea of dominance factors and knowing what you're good at, right? Everyone has what they call a dominant eye. If you want to do this as an activity for yourself, you could take a square, and just make it with your fingers, look through the square and just look at a target. And then you could close your right eye and then your left eye to be able to see whether you still see the target that you're looking at. In this case, my target actually is right spot on when I'm just looking with my left eye. The right eye, it tends to deviate, which means that I'm left eye dominant. Just paying attention to that, one thing that Mr. Skip Hancock says is the dominant eye leads and the rest will follow. If I know that I'm left eye, I actually screen the world in a counterclockwise direction from a right eye person which screens in a clockwise direction. So how can we use this to our advantage? Well, let's say that our equipment that we have to set up for, we want to set it up so we can be able to see everything around us. So setting it up so that you can be able to screen it automatically makes you more relaxed. So when it comes to relaxing the body, we can think about our arms and legs, and we want to prevent fatigue, okay? When we're thinking about relaxing our arms, it's a really good idea to not overreach for things, because when you're overreaching for something, that creates more fatigue, and over time, that can really cause a lot of discomfort. So even if something as simple as picking weeds, if I were, picking a lot of them and I had these ones far over here, overreaching here is actually going to cause me a lot more tension within my body versus the ones that are closer. So it's good to actually have your body as close to the object that you're actually working on, and then that way it just makes things in a more relaxed way so that you're not causing more discomfort and potentially causing more pain in your body as you go. If we were to think about relaxing our legs, a lot of times it's really good to consider what your power leg actually is. That's actually the leg that you end up doing something like, let's say, kicking a soccer ball with. Your power leg can stand a lot more fatigue. And the thing is that if you, with my leg, I tend to be more right-legged, is that so, how I would kick a soccer ball, then I want to have that in a position that's behind me, so that if I'm shoveling, for instance, I can be fully supported on this leg as I'm doing something over and over again. Now we're going to talk about relaxing the breath. Now, there's different ways that you can be able to use your breathing as you're working throughout the day. Just calming down your breathing is a way that you can be able to be even more relaxed in your mind. But I think it's actually going to be very effective to know when to actually create tension, So when you're doing something like a gardening project like this post digger, there are times when you want to use your breath effectively to be able to contract your transverse abdominal muscles. These muscles are actually in your abdomen. It's used to stabilize your spine as well as your pelvis, and you can actually contract it by just doing a short breath, like a type of movement, okay, with your breathing. So if you're to be digging a post, the thing is you can use those muscles effectively. Now, of course, I could go like this and be able to dig deeper and go and trying to dig like that. But you can see it actually creates more fatigue because I have to lift up so much. So instead, make sure that, you're close enough, be able to get down on your knees and be able to just, be in a more relaxed position and being able to get the soil out. Whatever this project actually is, make sure that you're using your breath and preventing injury. So I hope that a lot of these different things have been constructive for you. Remember, relaxation is very much about relaxing the mind, the body, and the breath. When you're relaxing the mind, be able to pay attention to your environment, set things up so that you can be relaxed and prepared. Relaxing the body, preventing yourself from overreaching with your arms to create fatigue, and using that power leg whenever you're doing duties that require a lot of attention. Relaxing the breath, making sure that your breath is relaxed, but contracting it at just the right time in order to contract those transverse abdominals, create stability within your body, and prevent injury. So I hope that a lot of this has really been constructive for you. Again, I would suggest doing one lesson at a time. Refer back to things like the posture and the balance videos that we made a year ago, because all these things work synergistically in order to help you prevent chronic pain. So if you like this video, please comment on it. I would love to hear your questions if you have anything, gardening projects in particular, to see whether you could utilize some of these different principles. This is Richard Tran from Color Chiropractic.